Some say the traditional Maine sporting camp is a thing of the past, that modern anglers and hunters no longer seek the kind of rustic, isolated experience offered by these primitive places. They hold that today's sportsmen and women demand access to coffee shops, boutiques, upscale restaurants, the internet. While it's true that many sporting camps have either been sold or rebranded as family-friendly resorts boasting high-end amenities and services, there remain a few holdouts, classic camps with basic accommodations where one can still unplug amid stunning natural beauty and wildlife. And of course, there's the access to some of the country's best fishing and hunting these camps continue to provide.
So from what I know, Lakewood Camps, one of the oldest sporting camps in the country. One of the oldest, if not the oldest, that's been operational since its conception. And from what I've been told and what we've been able to conclude based off some of the artwork that's been around, that was around 1853 when it was originally founded. Now it's changed hands quite a bit over the centuries, but most of the place has stayed the same. It still caters to the same type of clientele, and it's a great place. It really is a great place to be. And these camps came about to be out of demand for loggers. They needed a place to stay when they were coming out and spending all day cutting down trees. And then over time it grew into more than just a logging camp, more than just lodging for those loggers. It grew into fishing. Folks started to realize that the Rapid River was this rich body of some of the best native brook trout in the country, well, lower 48 that is.
So Maine general season, April 1st to the end of September, the Rapid River falls into that. So as soon as our season opens, April 1st, the river fishes well. Usually lower flows because we're still dealing with ice out on the lake. The lake still has ice that time of year. So lower flows, first month of April, first few weeks, and that's when our fishing season starts. April, May, June, and then our river warms up quite a bit and we see a lot more smallmouth bass the end of June. But April, May, June, that's prime spring season on the Rapid. Nymphing, dry flies, streamers, very bug heavy river, but they love the smelts, the alewives, any little dace getting kicked down through the dam. It's a great fishing river in the spring.
So within our main lodge and kind of scattered around the property, we've got all sorts of, old-timey taxidermy, things that are, grandfathered in, such as loons, razor bills, etc. We've also got, some antique clocks that will kind of hint at, the history of the place. Everywhere you look, you'll see a little bit of history. Whether it's the dining room, the main lodge, even some of the cabins that we have, there's all, little unique bits and pieces of history within them.
I look at the Rapid River in three parts. So you got the upper part from Middle Dam to the head of the pond in the river, and that's, whether it be a few 100-yard walk from camp or a mile down to the lower part where it dumps into the pond. Then you've got the pond and the river itself, a little bit longer of a walk, and then we've got Lower Dam, and that's, I would say, 4 or 5 miles from where we are now, and below Lower Dam you've got 5-6 miles of river to fish. And those three parts, the upper section, the pond, and the lower section, all walking distance. The lower river's a long day to walk, but at Lakewood, we got shuttle vehicles, so we'll drop you off at Lower Dam, we'll pick you up at a certain time. Same with Middle Dam, we'll drop you off, pick you up, and we take some of the walking out of it, which is nice.
We have had some folks, we call them our legacy guests. They've been here since longer than I was around. Some folks have been coming here for 60, 70 years. They came when they were children, and now they've got, their children have children, they still come every year. And that's something that, to me, is invaluable, because you'll see in the industry, people aren't traveling like that anymore. So it's special to have a place where people do want to return to each year. And furthermore, they're great because they're living history. They've taught me personally a lot of what I know about the place. They're great for fact-checking things that you'll read online or things you'll hear from other folks. They can tell you, well, I was here that year, and this is how it actually went down.
The best part of this area, in my opinion, is the brook trout, wild native brook trout, and I'm a sucker for a brook trout, man, and that's why I'm always in the Rangeley area. I'm hounding the local rivers, and I'm looking for those big brook trout. Some guys have big brook trouts like 14, 16 inches, but when I'm on the river, I'm looking for like the 20, 22s, 24s. I'm looking for those giants. Last year, I got one really close to 24. 2 days ago, I got a 5-pound brookie at 9:30 at night on a big old streamer. So I'd say 22, 23 inches right in there, but I've got a few of them like that. And we're always looking for bigger. The biggest ones always get away. We all know that.